All right, so I just came across this crazy story. This is Tiffany Fong, an influencer on X, and this is her earnings on October 2024. Here she is comparing X to YouTube. She says, well, what I earned in X, $28,000 versus what I earned on YouTube, $95. Needless to say, I love X, YouTube bad. Now, one might look at this and assume that X is a great platform to start getting paid for content, but the real story is a little bit more complicated. I'm DevinNash, and I own Novo, which is an influencer marketing agency for brands, and I like to create stuff about marketing and content. And in this video, we're going to tell the truth about making money on X and discover the best place there actually is to make money as a content creator. So this post was pretty viral, got 1.4 million views, and she's been posting her earnings for months and months and months. And she's been doing this for a while. Actually, if you look at some of her other posts, you can see that she's been actually making money, and it even is like building up over 2024. So 2023, you can see like she started making $100, and now she's up to like $5,600 in March, up to these like crazy payments in October and November. And if you actually look at the amount of impressions on her profile that she's generating, she is generating a ton of profile. Well, just like a ton. First of all, she posts all the time. But if you count this up, like just keep in mind, this is all the same day, okay? You can see the number of impressions: 22K, 55, 167, 402, 101, 100, 31, still go. This is only 60 hours, 60, 91, 130, 557, 403, again, 127. It keeps going, 258. We're still not even through the day, 95, 140. Okay, you get the point, okay? Kind of crazy that she's posting this much, and she's definitely generating millions and millions of impressions a day for X. But is this a legitimate payment that somebody can expect to earn off of X? Is this actually what you're going to earn if you get up to this level, or is there more going on? Well, there might be more going on. So first of all, the kind of red flag that a couple of people have noticed is that she gets an awful lot of tension from the person who owns X, aka formerly known as Twitter, known as Elon Musk. She gets quite a few replies to her posts from Elon. So this is the first like, ooh, kind of like red flag type of thing that I saw for. And there's been some drama about this. I guess recently Elon unfollowed her, and now it's like not clear if the earnings will be the same. But yeah, she gets a ton of attention from Elon Musk. And I think the truth behind this one, before we look into the actual like earnings of what creators are making, is that this is pretty obviously inflated payment. Okay, like even with the number of impressions, she makes this statement where she says, again, I'm aware I have more followers on X than I do on YouTube. I also post here more frequently, but posting on X takes far less time and effort than filming and editing video, and the way I earn is way more fun. Plus, X is way more fun. And so you go look at her YouTube channel and you'll see like, okay, well, her YouTube channel is only 47,000 subscribers, and her videos do like 6.5K, 6.9K. And she mostly like posts about like cryptocurrency and stuff. And some of her videos are okay. They get like, these couple is like 20K views. But overall, the kind of like $200 to $300 a month price tag on YouTube makes sense. So you might think, oh, well, I should just not create on YouTube and I should just post on X all day, especially posting memes, and I'm going to become the next millionaire. But the best post I've actually heard about this particular girl, and anyone you might see, because there's a couple of other people on X that have like these kind of earnings, is this post, which was actually a response to the post that I just mentioned, which was the one showing her earnings. Some of you guys don't seem to realize this, but this is an ad for X. That's why she gets paid so much. You will never receive these kind of payments ever. This post is to trick you into spending more time on this platform because social media companies are competing for your attention. I wish Elon would be more transparent about this because it's manipulative, and this is how it works. Enjoy the app and post what you feel like posting and interact with what you like. The second you do it for money, your content will suffer. You will become a grifter. And this is a good take. This is a really good take. So one of the things I really don't like is people that are like, oh, you know, cute Asian girl, blah, blah, blah. That's BS. She actually does put in the work. Like you showed from her profile, like she's generating impressions. She's putting in the work. And I don't even think her account is like getting boosted in terms of like the actual impressions she's generating. I mean, the algorithm is like super favoring her. Like there's maybe a question of that, but definitely the payments are way, way inflated for this particular influencer. And I'm going to prove that to you in a minute. But first, just to kind of like sum up the whole like debacle here and like our creators making this much money on X, the answer is like emphatically no. She's a UGC creator. She's user generated content. Tiffany Fong is the advertisement for you making content on X, because you see these payments and you go, damn, I want to post on X. I saw these payments and I was like, damn, I want to post on X, and I'm a marketer, right? So you look at this kind of stuff and you go, oh, this is actually possible. And it's like, no creator is realistically going to make this kind of money posting on X. There might be other benefits we're going to talk about in a minute, but what's actually I haven't like really seen a comprehensive analysis of like what people actually earn on X, and that's what we're going to do now in this video. So the first example I'm going to show you. So keep in mind, I run an agency. So my agency activates a bunch of sponsors. We do a bunch of sponsorships and activations across all different platforms. That includes Twitter. We've got just over 100 influencers being involved in like paid Twitter stuff right now. So we got a lot of data on our own, but I'm going to show you some of the data that I have found for you. And that's going to compare to the data and the stuff that we have seen. So this guy basically provides a stark difference. He says that after about 380,000 followers nets him $283 from X ad revenue in the same kind of period of time where Tiffany was making, upwards of like $500, $600 around this time. He's making like $80.57. So he got 14 million impressions for his tweets. Okay, so calculated on an RPM basis, that's about $20 per million impressions. And you're going to see this kind of consistently show up because the exact data that we have at Novo shows that about out of every 5 million impressions-ish, you can kind of expect to make about $120. Okay, and that's, once I show you some other platforms and what their earnings are, I think you'll be kind of surprised by that number. So about $20 per million impressions is going to be about the rate that you're going to get paid. It'll be a little bit higher and a little bit lower depending on a couple of factors. One important factor is how many verified accounts engage with you and follow. As of the time of this recording, the algorithm on X has changed. It's no longer based on how many people like reply to you and how many total impressions you get. The amount of engagement that verified users, that's the people that pay for the blue check mark, give you, that's what actually determines your X payout. So if you have more verified premium accounts, you're going to make more money. But this guy on 14 million impressions made $20 per million impressions. And that's going to get you a really good idea. We're going to keep going. So this is another account that this person owns. The account made $162. They got 13 million impressions. So you see that rate, again, is about $12.51. So it's in the range of the last one. And you can see again that this account doesn't interact with anybody. So the number of verified users on this following this account posting like self-improvement type of stuff and quotes and things like that is just going to be lesser. It's going to be less engagement from verified users. So it kind of makes sense that it's a little bit less a payout per 1,000. Now, still in terms of RPM and like the amount of money you're making, this is going to blow your mind when I start showing you other platforms and how much money you can make. So just kind of keep in mind these amounts for later. Up to 25% of your premium subscription now goes directly to creators. So this is X's like new way to calculate payouts. And content quality matters. Now, I'm actually a pretty big fan of this methodology. I think the old methodology of X, which was basically paying on impressions and the people that reply to you and their impressions, encouraged a ton of bot farming and was a nightmare in terms of just making the whole platform worse. Like it just created, it was all content went down to the lowest common denominator, and we just got tons of cat videos and fight videos and stuff that would just generate the most amount of impressions possible. And for the last like 8 months on the old system, it was bad to use X. It was just bad. Nowadays, I think this system of engaging with premium is a lot better. Now, it's always going to limit the amount of money that creators can make because the number of dollars that you can make is just dependent on the total number of creators on the platform that have signed, or people really, that have signed up for premium. You're never going to get the kind of crazy ad payments you see on other platforms with this. And making money on X is never going to equate to some of the other platforms that I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so you can basically expect that most accounts are making between $10 and $20 per million impressions. That's directly related to the evidence that we have at Novo, which shows roughly $120 per like 5 million impressions. So we're looking at the exact same rate. And some will make a little bit more, and some will make very significantly more, which appears to be these people that are making this kind of money, like the Tiffany's. These are anomalies, and I feel like certain accounts have been selected by X to basically be UGC platforms for people that they know are going to post their earnings over and over again. You want to make these look really good because the amount of impressions that she has generated off of posts like this, where she said something like this, Each one of these things is slamming like 500,000 to 1 million impressions and having tons of people talk about it. There's tons of news and media about it. So it feels like to me that this is an intentional play by X. You can basically view it as paying for brand advertising. And it's actually quite clever of the platform because it's kind of manipulative. It's actually really manipulative, but it's quite clever in terms of marketing. I'm kind of like agnostic in terms of marketing. Game is game to me. But let's look at some other examples. So here's a guy that's like super mad. He's been posts his 2023 and 2024 earnings, and he finds there's about $115 for 35.9 million impressions. Now, he doesn't actually link his Twitter account. If I tried harder, maybe I could find it. But this guy is frustrated as heck because he's on the lower end, and he's saying that's highway robbery. Here's another Reddit post where this person was paid significantly less. This person does post their screenshots and shows that they're getting paid $81, $77, $26. They got around 17 million impressions during their last pay period for $81. So that's a little bit lower than the rate that we're kind of quoting. And then everybody says, you'll see the top comment says, go check the pay rate at YouTube and regret your life choices. Interesting. So overall, you can kind of assume that the average creator is going to make like about $10 to $20 per 1 million impressions, and bam, mystery solved. Okay, not great. Not great. You can still make money off of X, but it's not really a money-making platform, and I think it's pretty manipulative for X to kind of present itself like that, but it's still a crazy good platform, like an insanely good platform for impressions and brand awareness. I've shown some of my personal analytics on X, and you can look at like my 3-month data. I've generated 2 million impressions and a bunch of followers and a bunch of bookmarks and reposts and profile visits and likes and stuff just off of posting like 3 or 4 times. I'm really happy with the impressions that I've gotten and the views that I've gotten on X. It's translated into DMs. It's translated into real people following me. It's translated into people coming to my YouTube and checking out videos like these. It's good. Like, it's a good platform for impressions. And I've recently made some controversial videos where I've talked about how I think that this is one of the best platforms right now for impression generation. And I hold to that. I think it's very good. Not just based on my own data, which is anecdotal here, but also based on what I'm seeing across the industry and the hundreds of accounts that we interact with at our agency. It's good. It seems to be a great platform comparable to YouTube for viewers, for following and people viewing your stuff. And these impressions are mostly real people. There seems to be a reduction in bot activity, still a decent amount of bot activity on X, but a lot of these engagements, pretty much all of these engagements, are real people. And if you go through the replies, these are real replies, not just like a ton of like cryptocurrency bots or something like that. It's looking good. So I think that X is still a strong platform for impressions. I don't think it is a strong platform for revenue generation, and kind of never is going to be. So that said, if it's not, where is the money to be made? Where is the actual money going to be made? And that's what we're going to discover next. I'm going to give you that answer, but first, you're 13 minutes into a DevinNash video, and you know what that means. 1307 is the call out. If you are still here at 13 minutes and 7 seconds, please post the timestamp in the comment section and tell me you're still here. I really appreciate you. That's the secret call out. Thank you. If you guys love this kind of stuff and the kind of stuff I work on, just check out patreon.com/DevinNash. $5 gets you 150 videos that aren't on this YouTube, just about business and marketing and stuff that I have found successful to run a business. It's really good. Patreon.com/DevinNash. The link's in the description. $5 gets you all the videos, so it's pretty sweet. And now we're going to get into what the best place to earn money is, and specifically why. And that is, dun, 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 literally the platform that you're on. It's YouTube, and it's not even close. YouTube is so good at making money, and it's also competitive in terms of earning. It's basically the top platform ever. I'm gonna give you some cool data about it. So YouTube earnings are absolutely the top. Nothing else even comes close, and you can expect a couple of stats I'll share with you. So versus, I want you to keep the old numbers in mind, where for about 1 million impressions, you would earn what did we say, $10 to $20? So here is the amount that gaming videos pay on average, about $3 to $8 per 1,000 views on CPM. And that means you're going to earn about assuming that, the mid range, about $5. You're going to earn $5,000 per 1 million impressions. So previously on X, you would earn $20 per 1 million impressions. And on YouTube, you can earn $5,000. Now, there's a caveat here that YouTube takes about 45%. So, but still, I mean, like, dude, $2,500 on 1 million impressions in gaming? Pretty crazy, but it gets better. Blogging and lifestyle stuff is even crazier because that pays out anywhere between like $8 to $12. So assuming the mid-range here at about $10, you can make about $10,000 or about $5,000 per 1 million impressions. Of basically 1 million views. I should say views on YouTube because it's a little bit more accurate. Okay, so again, I mean, just light years above X and light years above every other platform. Meta, nothing even compares. And the highest level that I have personally seen is in the finance and business category. When you're talking about finance and business, you can earn up to $15 to $20. So assuming the worst case number right there, that's $15,000 per 1 million views. Pretty crazy. And keeping in mind that YouTube takes a pretty big cut of the ad revenue like we were talking about before, that 45%. So your RPM, which is the actual money you're making per 1,000, will range between $1 to $2 per 1,000 views to about $30 for finance, depending on advertising. So you can make a ton of money off of YouTube, like a crazy amount of money off of YouTube. And YouTube is miles above and will always be miles above pretty much every other platform. On like it's a fraction of the price to make this on TikTok. On TikTok, you can expect to earn about like 5 to 10 cents per 1,000 views, and that's because short form content is never as good for advertisers. That's also why you see a YouTube Shorts is not even close to the payouts that you get from the long form content videos, where you're making content that can show mid-roll ads or additional ads that are longer than 12 minutes or so, or 15 minutes. You can include a bunch of ads in there. You're gonna start pulling up numbers like these. So YouTube is just full stop the best place for a content creator. It's not even close. I do like the amount of impressions that I generate from places like X, but I also generate a ton of impressions and a ton of views from YouTube, and I think that YouTube should be the core focus of any content creator or person that's trying to get started. And another thing that I want to say is I think you should never look at a single influencer as an example of success. This is a huge mistake that people make, and they oftentimes trust influencers that like post their earnings. I've seen a lot of people that look at Twitch and they're like, oh, Twitch, like people make a ton of money. Look at this FaZe Clan guy that earned like $2 million in this pay period. They're literally just going into their browser and they're hitting inspect element and they're changing the number so that it shows 2,900,300 something. They're not actually making that money. They're doctoring those photos. They do it for the memes, and a lot of people are posting disingenuously. You can never trust a single influencer and their N equals one anecdote of what they earn. You have to trust industry experts. You have to trust people that are aggregating this data. I think anybody that kind of learns from this sort of thing, it's that there's always more going on, and if something looks like it's too good to be true, it is. and it doesn't mean that you can't succeed, but it just means that you have to take the data in aggregate and then come to a conclusion based on informed multiple people that are telling you what they're seeing. And so that is hopefully something that everybody takes away, that I see way too many people like focusing on the information that individual influencers give them, and then they're like, man, I need to go start streaming on Twitch because this guy said that he was making $900,000 a month and he only has 100 viewers. Like that, I just like, believe it or not, I actually run into that stuff all the time where people are asking me content creation questions. So I hope that this video showed you some cool stuff about earnings and creator earnings. It's just something I don't post a lot about on this channel, and it's kind of fun to do. Hope this video was awesome for you, and if it was, subscribe to the channel, please, and do go check out that patreon.com/DevinNash. See you again next time for the next video. Bye-bye.